see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio. Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Oil Stream.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagner coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagner involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielsen and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch. Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Oil Stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We hope the transition from the Lock Shop stream over to the Oil Stream worked for some of you. Like we said, you will need to turn on autoplay so that when we send you on a redirect from the Lock Shop into the Oil Stream, it should just take you right over there. This is the YouTube technology that we're still learning, buddy.
We are still figuring it out.
See how this goes. Hey,
Good afternoon, by the way.
Hey, how you doing, man?
It's a new thing for us, obviously, with the on-camera element, but I think it's been working out, and the reaction I've heard over the weekend has been pretty good. A lot of people liking just the programming in general, the YouTube element. Another common theme I'm hearing is it's not hard to figure out how to get it
It's not.
onto your vehicle. So all those people that were griping saying, I just like to go on and push the button and I can listen. I understand that. I'm the same way. And then, the type of people, like listeners, just their age and their method that they prefer to consume radio, they've adapted quite well and easily. So it's not that hard. And you know what? People will come around to it and warm up to it. But so far, so good, I think.
Yeah, no, I think so. And stay tuned. We're working on finding ourselves on some of those
More platforms
that you would be familiar with as well. Tube Socks says that TV is so close to being mounted.
It is.
Yeah, we've just been busy with everything else. We got to find a corner mount to get this TV up. We thought we had one.
Didn't fit
but
the
it
TV,
didn't work,
the
so I'm going to
bracket.
return that. And we will eventually get this mounted. And then there's going to be so much space here. It's going to be great.
It is going to be great.
That
I was
TV
actually
will be a little bit further back even.
when you were doing the lock shop, I went into the Hangout studio and I put in more soundproofing.
This guy is soundproofing. Soundproof the nation, Tommy Gazzola. There is
That's
no
what I'm
better
here for.
soundproofer in this country than Tommy Gazzola.
Yes, I am
Simple
not
as
for
that.
hire, only for EST. But that studio has come a long way. And then shout out to Tiffany over at William Huff for coming in and doing the main lobby of our
Was it
studios.
Tiffany who was here?
She did a
Yeah,
great
it's
job,
good,
and
it's
she
good.
actually came in and she looked at some things. She's like, oh, well, the crew did a great job, and she even did a
so
little
she's
bit
like
more.
okay.
She's a perfectionist, and the way the
I like
studios
that.
look, and then the main lobby area, it looks really cool. And then Jay Milne hooking up the couches from Avon's Furniture. It's coming around. We just need to get rid of all the boxes that we've accumulated. in our studios.
We do have to do some recycling.
There's a lot.
There's
of
definitely
recycling.
some recycling that needs to be done. That is that is for sure. Yeah, no, there's lots to get to. But as always, the Oil Stream is brought to you in part by our great partners at Boston Pizza and at Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. We're in the Popeyes studio right now. Popeyes has the new sweet and spicy wings that they launched back on the 4th of September. So you swing by, pick up those crispy breaded, spicy ghost pepper seasoning. Are you moving my water again? Here,
That's
give me
a
my
thing.
water.
It's a thing.
Let me move the
Get it
water.
outta
Let me
here.
move it over to this side. Stop touching my water. Stop touching my water, Tommy
didn't I just
Gazzola.
put that thing
you
down?
You did. And then I took it up. I had to drink. My wife's always on me. You got to drink so much water.
Well,
you gotta
she's
have water.
right.
So, yeah, she's right. But
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Can I put my phone here?
Yes,
Is
you
that
may.
okay? Okay, I'm just
it's a
tweeting out what we're
you
gonna
want a
talk
clean
about
desk.
here.
We have our computers. I know you have the board where you fire some audio, and but like you want to keep it neat and tidy to a certain extent. I think maybe it's just my OCD kicking, and I apologize. But
No, that's okay, buddy. That's okay. We're all still learning routines around here, right? So, lots to get to today. And, we mentioned the Oil Stream also brought to you in part, as is pretty much all of Edmonton Sports Talk, by our partners at Coolbet. NHL player props are now out. We'll take a look at what numbers they've got for McDavid and Draisaitl on this episode of the Oil Stream. If you are listening to the podcast of the Oil Stream at a later date, make sure you hop over on YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, that would go a long way for us. We're probably going to be at 3,600 subscribers by the end of the day.
Nice.
Considering when we launched last week, it was like 2,300, and when we announced that this was going to happen, it was like 1,100. So it's grown nicely, but obviously we want to continue to push that out. Yeah. Hey, Maddie, the link to watch live on the website's going back to the morning show. If you want to quickly change that to the Oil Stream, Awana can do that from his phone. Good looking out, Mike.
thank you, Mike.
Good looking out, Mike. We appreciate that. Sparky YG says there'd be room for a blackened chicken sandwich. There would be room for a
I would
blackened
not
chicken
move
sandwich
that
here.
down. I would leave it here until it's eviscerated.
If you try to touch my blackened chicken sandwich,
I
if
would
it's in
not
there,
do
I will
that.
slap your hand.
I would do no such thing.
I will slap your hand. Hey, if you are listening in your car or at work today, you can text us 780-218-9999, and we will get to a few of those as well.
I like this text. Just comes in and says, there is also clear reception from everyone listening.
Yeah, it's pretty cool if you're actually in your car listening to EdmontonSportsTalk.com right now, static free, which we think is important for everybody.
I would say it's essential.
Yeah, I think it is. And, we've had hiccups. Certainly things haven't been perfect, but, things are going pretty good. All right, we've got lots to get to. First of all, let's start with this. Training camp kind of just around the corner here.
Yep.
They've already got a couple of PTOs announced.
Yes.
Anything else?
This popped up last week
Yeah,
when
it
we
did.
did Friday's show, and I Again, I fully apologize. We were getting this station launched and making sure everything was up and running and somewhat smooth. I think, knock on wood, it continues to get smoother and smoother. Wannick's a perfectionist. But, someone asked about a potential PTO coming in and like a late one or something like that. And I was like, maybe, but it doesn't seem like it's headed in that direction. I did circle back and ask around, and no, it doesn't sound like anything is there in terms of a PTO. And I asked about if there's anything actually cooking right now, and I was told nope. So pretty quiet.
So quiet, like not another forward, like not another contract coming.
From what I was told, they said no.
Which makes sense because where would they play?
I don't know.
You're not going to be able to run a 22-man roster. Like that's out the window
unless there's a trade.
now.
And then I said, well, is there something in the works? No, was the answer I was given. So I don't know. Maybe we just get excited because of this time of year and hey, what about this?
Yeah, which is understandable.
And I think that's natural, yeah. But just it sounds like it's pretty quiet on that front. The crew that's here in terms of guys skating and all of that, that's pretty much what's going into training camp.
All right, so there you go. And we'll obviously have a lot of time to break that down because we do have the ratings of importance.
We do.
That we will certainly get to. But like we said, 780-218-9999 or in the chat as well. Ryan is in and says, I'm watching / listening from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Nice.
Go Oilers. That's kind of cool. Howdy.
Howdy.
I don't know. Is that what you would say? I don't know. What do you say?
Hello?
What do you say in North Carolina? Can I say
howdy?
Can I say howdy?
I think howdy works.
Like
pretty
that's
much
a Texas
everywhere.
thing?
It's everywhere.
That's
The
what I thought.
Midwest, it's howdy. In the prairies here in Canada, it's howdy. Montana, howdy works. I think you could go as far west as California, where you could say howdy. It's just where you grew up, how you say hello and greet one another. Howdy, I think, is more than okay.
Jasmine to the inbox here. You should get cute coffee mugs with the logo, like those morning shows or Jimmy Kimmel.
I think Wannick is working on.
Yeah, we have a meeting on Wednesday with Swag Company.
Yes,
in which we are going to order a bunch of swag for us, for some of you, and for something exciting that we're working on as well that we'll be announcing at some point here in September.
Get to one via the inbox.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Fordo74 says, why didn't Gazzola maintain the perm? A lot of people have been asking about this. It wasn't me, Fordo74. It wasn't me. But I actually golfed with my uncle yesterday, and he's like, it's a shame. I didn't get to see your perm.
Well, if you want, Tommy, Matt and Eric and I can team up to pressure you into doing something for charity, too.
I'm okay, thank you. I am very happy and proud that we were able to raise
You raised a lot of money. That was good.
To the MS Society. That was great. And actually, my last haircut, or coupe de cheveux, as Chantal likes to say.
Wait, let's say this again?
Coupe de cheveux.
That's haircut?
Yeah, in French.
Coupe de cheveux.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mind blown.
I didn't know that.
This man. Anyway, that was the last remnants of the perm were cut because there was a few stragglers in the front, and now they're gone. So Fordo, thank you for asking. And yes, we did raise a lot of money for a great cause, but no more perm.
Hey guys, I love the online player, but it turns out frequently I have to hit stop and then play again to wake it up. Just an FYI. Thanks. I listened for 35 minutes between shows. It was fine. So
good.
I mean, that might be something to do with settings as well. So
when we get the app, which is
we're working on an Android app, we're working on an Apple
work.
app, and then we're working on being on a couple of streaming platforms as well, which will be
make it easier.
Even easier for you guys. Which right now we think it's kind of easy, but that will make it easier. Hey guys, I went to university in North Carolina. Howdy ain't different there than it is here. Carolina is more of a y'all place. Okay,
I could see that.
How you doing, y'all?
Hey y'all.
Yeah, hey y'all.
Y'all.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I like that.
It works.
We need Nielsen Show flags, actually. Edmonton Sports Star car flags.
Is that doable?
Idea. Well, it's probably doable.
William Huff probably
people can make car flags, so it would be doable for us. Bruce.
Good idea.
Bruce from William Huff. If you're kicking around, let's make something happen. Hey guys, is there anything flatter than Tommy's hairline? It looks like a hat brim.
I don't know. That's
the dude's got good hair, man. What can we?
It's a little poofed up today.
All right, let's get to some Oilers questions as well.
Yes,
then we'll get to what are we doing today?
20 to
16. 20 to 16.
Yes.
20 to 16 on the rankings of importance today. So make sure you stick around for that. We're going to get to some of the questions as well that you've got, and they're flying in here. 780-218-9999. Days since the start of EST station that the burglars' texts have been mentioned on air. 3. There you go, buddy.
He's back, baby.
Yeah.
The burglar.
No, that's good. Oh, man, where was this one question here? Well, there's lots of text rolling in here.
Yes, good.
Somebody was asking about if the Oilers would be in on Brett Pesce, but I mean, they'd love to.
Sure,
I'm certain.
I mean,
yeah, that's the
they would love to.
Why stop there? Go get Victor Hedman as well. But
I love that idea. That would be great. It's just,
how are you supposed to do that?
yeah, they're so tight. And then when you ask that question, like, how is Ken Holland or the Oilers supposed to pull off one of these moves? And you go, it's not that feasible right now. And then you see a team make a move and create all the space. You go, yeah, I guess. But really, they're not aiming to do that. I'm sure Ken Holland will phone Carolina and ask about Brett Pesce, but yeah, they're kind of locked in.
Yeah, this is it's fun to have these dreams of, oh, this guy, they're going to get this guy and this guy and this guy. I get it. I mean, I understand why you would feel that way, but
shades of Erik Karlsson, where it was so
we have to deal in reality here. People.
Ridiculous, yeah. And we get excited about it, and I do the Debbie Downer thing. People, oh, you're always shooting down these ideas. I know, because a lot of them are not realistic. And I don't want to get people's hopes up or create false hope, but I know you got to create buzz too, but I don't know. I don't come at or approach a show from that angle where it's like, hey, let's talk about so-and-so and stir the pot and people will listen and we'll get clicks. I just don't want to bullshit you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. You can swear. We just aren't encouraging swear.
I wasn't apologizing for the swear. It's just...
you're apologizing for
the
fact that you don't
get a phony hype train.
Yeah.
Up.
Okay. No, that's
the
fair
apology.
enough. That's fair enough for sure. All right, let's dive inside the numbers for Coolbet Canada, because this was exciting today. I was going over to look at a bunch of NFL stuff on the lock shop, and turns out a lot of their NHL player future bets are now up, which for the longest time was just the Stanley Cup. Oilers, by the way, second best odds to win the Stanley Cup, behind the Colorado Avalanche. Avalanche are plus 855. Oilers are plus 1,000. Hart Trophy for Connor McDavid is plus 100. Next closest, Leon and Austin Matthews and Nathan McKinnon at 10-1. So McDavid is 1-1 to win the Hart Trophy. These other guys are 10-1. In McDavid's entire career, I've never seen him be that heavy of a favorite for the trophy. But look what he did last year. I mean, it's his league now, right?
It is. This is the sweet spot of his career, and we get to enjoy and watch all the wonderful things that he's able to accomplish, and the wizardry and the dominance. This is it, and that coincides with this team's emergence as a contender. So, I mean, unless he gets banged up or just goes into a monster slump, which is not something that's ever happened with McDavid.
He doesn't. His
career.
slumps are like 12 points in 10 games.
Yeah,
that's a slump. Like, that's how ridiculous he is.
Pointless for 1 or 2 games, and you're like, oh, well, he'll bounce back.
What was it last year?
4 or 5.
He had more 3 or 4 point games. It might have even been more 4 point games than 0 point games.
Yeah,
he's a freak. He's minus 250 to win the Art Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 250 to lead the league in points. He's going to do it. Leon Draisaitl's number 2 at plus 800. That's only a good bet if Connor gets banged up somewhere along the way. Player points and player goals. Let's get into these, and this is obviously a number that will move because I know Edmonton is going to absolutely hammer these things for Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid, the goal total for McDavid this season has been set at 53.5 goals. Tommy Gazzola for over. Inside the numbers for Coolbet over, right?
Has to be over. The guy's coming off a 64-goal season. And
yeah.
I think you want to talk about not even slump, but like at the end of the year in that last 10 games, once he got to 60, it just seemed like it wasn't top of mind for him. He wanted Draisaitl to get his 50, and he wanted other guys to hit milestones and markers for their seasons, and it felt like he was dialing back the goal-scoring focus for himself, and he still ended up with 64. If he ended up with 60 again this year, I wouldn't be surprised. So if he pushed the bar even higher with his career high in points, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, how much further can he go? I don't know, but I still think with where he's at, his health, and how he has just continued to push himself to new heights, I think this is a year where he could, again, surpass what he was able to accomplish last year, which was amazing.
Edmonton, if you are listening to this right now or watching on YouTube, go to coolbet.com. If you haven't signed up for an account yet, use the code LOCKSHOP. You'll get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. I'm telling you, this might be the only day that you'll be able to get this at 53.5 on Coolbet, because I know everybody who's already a lock shopper or a cool better, they're going to go bet this right away. I'm going to bet this right away. And I would think by the time the season starts, this number's more at like 55.5 or 56.5. So if you want to get this at 53.5, you have to go get it right now, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Stay cool, bet responsibly. Don't bet anything more than your means have. You want to bet $2 on it, bet $2 on it. You want to bet $5, $10, whatever. But I just locked that in, and Edmonton's going to move that line. That's that simple. So Connor McDavid's been set at 53.5 goals. Leon Draisaitl over at Coolbet, 50.5 goals. That's an over too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And he's in the same spot as McDavid. And I mean, Draisaitl last year, the last 4 or 5 years, just automatic. And yes, part of it is playing with McDavid. It's not the easiest to read off of McDavid. We've watched numerous right wingers try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Obviously, Draisaitl has a knack, and there's a kinship there, and it works, and there's nothing wrong with that. He takes advantage of it to the fullest.
So McDavid at 53.5, Draisaitl at 50.5, and we like both of those numbers so far this year. I'm going to bring up their point totals too. I'm just going to tweet this out quickly. And
You're just doing everything.
Yeah, well, look, man,
it's incredible.
We're hosting. I sent it. Do I need to go to commercial? I'll bring up commercial right now too.
Not yet.
You know what I should do?
We're rolling here.
I should. Yeah, we're not going to commercial just yet, but I am going to set it up so that we are ready to go to commercial.
Look at that. Where's Awanek?
We don't need
He needs a
Awanek.
nap. He's been up
Look
forever.
at this. He's been up the same amount as us.
I know.
All right, there we go. Well, not you, Mr. Sleep In and come in later.
I
in the
got
day.
up at 7 today.
Okay, that's not bad.
And the
That's
first
not
thing
bad.
I did is I turned on YouTube and had this going.
What's it like watching our show
It's
on YouTube?
awesome.
Is it?
It looks great.
It looks neat, yeah.
Yeah, and it's great to listen, the banter, and I like the added element of the YouTube nasty chat.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, that's kind of a neat morning for sure.
It is neat.
Let me just see. I just want to see if there's any other orders. They kind of just have all the big boys up. Oh, here's Nuge, 25.5 goals for Nuge.
Over.
We're just gonna hammer all the overs, eh? That one I wouldn't be as in on as McDavid and Draisaitl, but if somebody said, "Hey, bet a total right now on Nuge goals," I'd probably take the slightly over 25.5.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you had Nugent Hopkins, if they brought up the 100 marker, I'd say under.
For points?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. What would you... I'm going to guess, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm going to guess Nuge's point total is somewhere around 80.5.
Yeah. Okay, if he goes in...
Let's see. Let's play. Oh, this is a fun game. Oh, I don't even want to look. I'm so nervous.
Do you want me to... I was going to just jump in there. If he gets 80 to 90, what is it?
77.5.
Over. Again, over. For me, at least.
Yeah,
I think.
I'd probably be over on the Nuge points. Look, when you're going to be on that power play and you're going to just be milking power play points like crazy. Yeah, I'd probably take that. Draisaitl's point total, 120.5. Connor McDavid's. Any guesses on what McDavid's? This is fun. I have not looked at these yet.
155?
I bet you it's in the 140s. When you look at how many goals he scored last year, and they've got the goal set at, if this is in the 130s, I'm going to
150?
140.5.
Oh,
which I'm also going to place a little wager on this
right
one
now.
right now. Oh yeah, I'm betting.
This is great.
I'm betting live on the Oil Stream. I just think these numbers are going to go up because Coolbet's most bet city in the country is Edmonton, and Oilers fans are going to crush these overs.
Really quickly, a thought on Nugent Hopkins. If he has an 80 to 90 point season, do you think he gets slagged by Oiler fans and say the theme from them would be like, see, it's a one-time flash in the pan thing? Or do you think they're going, yeah, that's good. For 5 point, whatever he's getting now, we take that 80 to 90. No problem.
I would be pretty surprised. Now, look, everybody, even with Draisaitl, you still see people. You see it on your post-game show. People still bitch every once in a while.
Oh, they do.
About, there's always haters for everybody. Well,
Comes with the territory.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But if Nuge ends up with 85 points, are we actually going to say anybody would be disappointed by that season? Come on.
There will be some, and I think there'll be outliers, just like you said. Everybody's got their detractors. So, in general, no. I mean, if he's pumping out 80 to 90 points a year consistently for the next couple of years, good value. Good value.
Dusty, will you be watching the YouTube feed on Friday when T-Biscuit fills in for you? That's in from Library Pat. I will.
Yeah.
Where am I going? Regina. Internet sucks there.
It does suck.
But
we've tried to do the oil
it,
stream with
which is
that.
going to be tough because I'm going to try to do Lock Shop live from there, but I won't be streaming from my computer. I'll just be connecting back to here, and we'll be streaming from here. So
Yes.
I'm hoping that's a little bit better than trying to stream it out. Fingers crossed on that front. But yeah, I think the TVs at the Delta in Regina have like YouTube, like that come up like on the channel thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you'll be like TSN, YouTube. I'm like, what? Yes, I'll
Everybody's
just
got
watch
that
you
now.
guys. Yeah. I might even be in the old nasty chat that morning. Who knows?
goodness.
Or maybe I'll sleep in and miss the entire thing. I don't know. No promises
I
there.
actually get a kick out of the what time does Tommy show up today?
Yeah, it's fun.
And the
it's
clip
a
you're
fun
playing
little
from
game.
Tommy
Yeah.
Boy was funny. So.
Yeah, that was good too.
get
Trevor is in and said, hey, do you guys think we'll see a more consistent split between Campbell and Skinner this year? Hopefully Campbell improves a bit. That's in from Trevor.
I do think so, Trevor. Honestly, I feel like they're banking on Campbell having a much better year, not allowing upwards of 4 goals plus per game. And I think it has to do, obviously, with his mindset. Rashad talked about it on the mandate earlier today and the mental toughness portion of the game and just having that confidence. And I think that Jack Campbell will be able to have that now that Stuart Skinner has kind of become the guy. But Skinner is so early in his NHL career that there's going to be nights where you need Jack Campbell to spell him off, and you can't run Skinner, 2 weeks straight because you're waiting for the other guy to figure out his game and change goalie gear. But I think they're counting on Campbell being better. His record was good, his numbers were bad, and I think Campbell's banking on himself being better, and hopefully he's in the right frame of mind to enable that. So yeah, I think they would probably want to have a closer, I think it'll be closer to 50-50. I still think Skinner gets the bulk. He gets that, 60, 40, 50. You're not 60, 40, 60% to 40%.
Yeah, I mean, if Campbell by the middle of the season has better numbers than Skinner, then it could be a straight up 50-50 down the stretch.
Yeah,
couldn't it?
and
they're still paying Jack Campbell to be the number one goalie. They just happen to have a guy who's better as a number one goalie who makes less.
And I did point it out on the oil stream last week too, that there is the possibility, and nobody really hopes that this happens, but it could, that Campbell's putting together a really solid year and Skinner's having, the sophomore slump, so to speak. And, by November at the end, you're going, well, Jack Campbell's getting more starts than Stuart Skinner. But there's ebbs and flows to this season. It can happen. Will it happen? I don't know. I don't think so. Trying to be optimistic about it. But I do think that the goal from the coaching staff will be to even up the starts as much as possible. But if Skinner's your better goalie, he's going to get a little bit more.
Tube Socks is wondering if I'm going to miss Macramala's return on Friday. And, that's not going to have to happen. We'll have to have Macramala on Thursday. Sorry, Tommy.
Oh, I actually really
You can
like
have beer
being
of the
on
week,
with
though.
Macramala. Yeah, I get beer of the week. And thank you, because at times at 12:60, you guys would do beer of the week on Thursdays. And I'd be like, damn it, I wanted a beer at 8:30 with Redbeard.
Sorry, man.
I get it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just filling in on the morning show. But Macramala, when I do get him on, is always
He's a
funny.
beauty.
But you two
I mean,
have
for the
a great
first one,
chemistry
it
with
should
him.
probably be me.
It should
So,
be you. I should not have been the last host on 12:60 either. That still blows my mind.
No, you were a big part of the station too.
Yeah, but it's not the same, dude.
It probably would have been like for Eric and I.
Special.
We should have gone down together.
Yes.
Yeah. No, whatever.
80 years of
you could-
CFRN radio, and I'm the last host. That does not.
You can only get fired in so many ways.
Oh my god.
Right. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see here. A few text messages are flowing in really good here. 780-218-9999. So thank you to a lot of you who are probably just listening to the audio feed today as well. And if you want to chime in, a lot of people are wondering what time you're going to show up when you have to fill in for me on Friday. I was looking because I was worried, because there's sometimes, I guess it worked out really well in the summer this year because we weren't working. So I would just take off on Thursdays and we didn't have to worry about anything. After this Friday, there's only one other Friday that I'll miss the rest of the CFL season. So we're pretty fortunate from that aspect.
I appreciate
so
that. There were times where I was doing a post game show and it would be a West Coast game,
and then you'd be
I'd be back at the station.
Hey, does this guy know how to grind or what?
Hustle.
I love it. That's good. You got to get your hustle.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that's right. Dusty, I like Shane Wright for the Calder. Yeah, personally, I think Bedard will struggle at the next level. I'll gladly eat my hat if I'm wrong. That's in from Anthony, who's going to eat his hat if he's wrong. I don't know where I come out on Shane Wright just yet. Still, like,
Not sure.
I
How does he fit in with that Kraken?
I just always viewed him as a guy who becomes eventually a lower end top line center or a really good number 2 center. Like, I never viewed Shane Wright, even in his draft year and when he got passed on and stuff. I never viewed him like I kind of viewed him coming out of junior like we viewed the Nuge back in the day. Like, this is not a guy you build a franchise around, but it's a guy who's a really important piece for a franchise.
Right.
And that's where I kind of see Shane Wright settling in. So it's going to be hard for somebody to take the Calder from Bedard this year just because the NHL will be pushing Bedard so heavily this year.
But his performance has to factor in here big time. I don't know what Bedard will be at the NHL level. Like, I know they've surrounded him with some good veterans, Taylor Hall going to Chicago, Corey Perry, which I can't believe they gave him $4 million per year. But a guy that I look at maybe is like Devin Levi with the Sabres if they have a really good year.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's,
right?
if
He
he's,
could
if
sneak
he's
in
the
there.
guy, and yeah.
And they build something good, and they have this magical season.
We'll continue to preview all this stuff.
Of course.
But
This is just
actually,
off the
let
cuff.
me take a quick peek at Coolbet because they've got the winners up. And let's see here. Winner, Calder. Oh, here it is. Connor Bedard minus 154.
Okay.
Luke Hughes. He's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
7
he
to
is
1 plus 700. Levi 12 to 1. Logan Cooley's 12 to 1. Brant Clark 16 to 1. Fantilli 17 to 1. Evangelista 17 to 1. Shane Wright 20 to 1. Right now to win the Calder. To be honest with you, I think I'd rather put my money on Bedard at minus 154, but I don't mind the chalk every once in a while. So
really quickly, since you brought up Hughes, Mark actually texted in and said, do you think the
about his
Canucks
brother, yeah.
made the right decision
Yeah.
naming Hughes captain? What do you think? I don't know.
I think my answer is I don't know that team well enough to really tell you, like, honestly, one way or the other, if I think it's a good call. I was a little surprised when I saw the release today. I think, was it this morning they released
Yeah,
this? Or was it
today
last
it came
night?
out.
Yeah, I think I was driving in or something. It was while we were doing the show, and I was just like, well, I mean, I guess that's about how they view him
in the room.
He's extremely important to them. He's been there for a little while now.
Yes.
If they view him that way, then who am I from the outside to be like, wow, horrible decision. Like, I think, like last week when Ottawa signed Sanderson.
Yep.
That one you look at, and it doesn't matter what's going on in the room. Like with the captain decision, let's be honest, none of us really know what's going on in the Vancouver dressing room.
Right.
With the Ottawa thing, you look at the number they gave Sanderson, you're like, wow, like that's a big ticket for a guy who's played 1 year in the league. I feel a lot more justified in my opinion about that than I do about whether or not Quinn Hughes should be the captain of the Vancouver Canucks, right? So,
I mean, they're in a time of transition. Like, if someone said, why isn't Brock Besser the captain? Well, he's been on the trade block for a long time.
yeah, like this is
He's
a guy
not really
that you're
captain
locked
guy
into,
either.
right? Like,
yeah.
So, best of luck to a phenomenal defenseman
Yeah.
having an additional role right now with the Vancouver Canucks. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We basically blew through the first commercial, which is fine. That's why we only did. I know I've seen some people being like, yeah, they must not have any advertising because they only run the
on the
other
bottom of the
commercials. No,
screen.
the reason we do that is just so we can have a little bit of a break to kind of reset, grab a drink, and then continue on. But we don't have to. If we wanted to do Oil Stream for an hour straight, we do Oil Stream for an hour straight. But we are going to transition to the rankings of importance. So we're going to step away just for a couple of minutes. We will be back. And are you ready?
I am ready.
Are we getting into like heated debate territory here
Maybe.
now?
Maybe.
Okay.
And that's
All right.
kind of why we do this, too. It's like, let's get this conversation going. And it has created a stir at times before. People
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has.
bring it back up to me from time to time, and that's fine. And if you don't like it, that's all good, too. That's why we do this.
Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like
yeah.
40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler, weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Oil Stream.
Last summer on the Oil Stream, you and I discussed the possibility of Gagne coming back here on a PTO. He signed with Winnipeg and got an actual contract.
Anytime you can have Sam Gagne involved in your organization in any way, it's a major positive for you.
They love him.
The Oil Stream with Nielsen and Gazzola. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell take you on a hot lap around the NHL with Hello Hockey, Saturday mornings at 10, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Catch up with friends of EST, Andrew, Mike, and Kayla, as they get you in the huddle with the Edmonton Elks on the Turf District. Thursday nights at 8, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join friend of EST, Guy Flaming, for the Pipeline Show, Monday nights at 8 and Saturday at noon, as he has you covered with CHL, CJHL, USHL, NAHL, NCAA, and U Sports, plus the World Juniors, Frozen Four, and NHL Draft on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Join Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock for tips and tales from courses around Edmonton and area with the VIP Golf Show, presented by the Tailor Made Performance Center at the Ranch. Sundays at 8:30, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Two guys and a goalie.
I think we're going to see some big things from Evander Kane this year.
You think so? Like if he stays healthy, like 40 goals or something?
He's used to Edmonton now. He's solidified, I think, his place in the dressing room. I think there's a comfort factor that takes a little bit of time.
Two guys and a goalie with Gager, Cassian, and Nielsen. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Friend of EST, Eric Thomas, takes you around the track all the way to the checkered flag on Raceline Radio, Tuesday nights at 8 and Saturday morning at 9, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Dusty and Tommy with the second half of the Oil Stream coming up. Brent is in on the YouTube chat, says, so I love Dustin. But just confirming, looking at that schedule, does this mean that Dusty is on 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. daily? If so, quickly, can we get him a throat lozenge sponsor? First of all, if you do run a company that sells sucky candies, yes, we'd love to have you. Business at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. And no, I am not on from 6 until... It's actually only one more hour. It's actually less than what I used to do, technically, because... We used to go 6 to 10, then I'd go home and do podcasts from like 11 until 1.
Correct.
Now I go 6 to 9, chill. You guys do the hangout. That being said, I wouldn't mind an invite to the hangout sometime.
I'm not in charge.
And then back on Lock Shop at 11, and then Oil Stream and two guys at 1. So it actually, that little 2 hours off in the middle allows me some time to get some other stuff done, and then back on. And look, it's not work when you love what you do and you work with good people. Simple as that. So no, I wasn't talking about you, Tommy.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about Eric. I was talking about Eric and us.
I mean, that's going to be a diary entry for me later, and the feelings will spill out
Dusty
onto the page.
almost said something nice.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. But it is cool. That's interesting because, you used to hustle on the podcast, but now that we've,
it's all one
created
now, so it's technically less.
This station that has turned podcasts into actual live shows.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's less of a workload and we're done earlier in the day, that part of it's been interesting because it didn't factor in until we actually started rolling this out. I'm like, man, we're done relatively early, but when pre and post game starts happening,
once pre and post are going,
change
buddy,
things up. But that's good. But lozenges are a good one.
We should just have a huge bin of lozenges around here. I can't say that word very well.
Lozenge.
A lozenge.
Or do you go with a Z type S where you go lozenge?
Lozenge.
That's
I don't know. I just always say sore throat candies. Do you have any sore throat candies?
Fisherman's Friend.
Do you have a Werther's? Do you have a Werther's I can get?
Werther's not that's pure sugar.
No, but
I think be good for your throat.
I thought anything you sort of suck on would be good for your throat. Tommy, I'm talking about candies, you pervert. Get a load of this guy.
I'm not the only one laughing right now.
We're sitting here trying to do the rankings of importance, and you're making dirty sex jokes.
I didn't say
Unbelievable.
anything. I did not even say anything.
Oh, I know what you're thinking.
I'm not the only one.
That's exactly why I said it. All right. If you have any questions, hit us up, 780-218-9999, and we will we'll get to those as well. And we'll see how it goes. But let's do it, Tommy. So
let's do it.
Can we recap for anybody? Oh, by the way, I wanted to say this for everybody who's listening to the Oil Stream podcast right now. We've seen the Oil Stream podcast numbers. They're big. So if you're listening to the Oil Stream podcast right now, please subscribe to Hello Hockey.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to The Hangout. Please subscribe to The Nielsen Show. Please subscribe to Two Guys. Please go and subscribe to all of our Friends of EST programs. Yep. And, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/Yeg Sports Talk. And give us a sub over there as well, and we would very much appreciate it. But,
yes, absolutely.
All right, what do you got here?
We're going to recap, right? You want to recap what we went over on Friday?
Yeah.
This is the 2023-24 Oil Stream Rankings of Importance. I think that's the formal name and title of it.
It is, yes.
25 was Lane Peterson.
Okay.
24, Raphael Lavoie, and a text had come in that said, hey, fellas, does Lavoie make the starting lineup?
TBD. To be determined.
If everything goes as planned and the lineup and the roster is healthy, I don't think so. He has to knock it out of the park this year to make this team, and he's going to have a great opportunity to do so. It's possible, but
you also have to be careful with guys knocking out of the park in the preseason and then becoming non-factors in the regular season. How many times have we seen that? Not just here, but we have seen it here.
Yeah.
But what about around the league as well, right? So I think that's kind of tough. But all right, so there you go. You recapped it?
I have more to go. That was 24 at Lavoie, 23 Marcus Niemelainen, and I'm going to say this. I'm putting a heavy emphasis on defense on this list, and it might have pushed guys up on the rankings of importance because team defense needs to be better, and the blue line as a whole, I know they need support from the forwards, but if this crew and group is going to be a Stanley Cup contender, the defense needs to be solid throughout, and that starts on day one. So I have Marcus Niemelainen at 23, number 22, Drake Caggiula, and then Sam Gagner came in at 21. And I did point out, too, that if, the hips aren't where they need to be and he's lost a step, and I think he could be a valuable asset to the organization in a role in the hockey ops department.
Okay, before we continue, I just wanted to say we've now surpassed 3,600 YouTube subscribers.
Excellent.
So that's great. Let's keep her going. Yeah, exactly. So hopefully we can hit 4,000 by mid next week or something.
I think so.
Share it with your friends and let them know that the Nielsen Show, the Hangout, Oil Stream, Two Guys, Lock Shop, all every day live from 6 until 1 on the Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel. All right, Tommy, here we go. Number 20, buddy.
I also had an honorable mention. Calvin Pickard, just in case one of those goalies
I love that we're honorable
down.
Mentioning Calvin Pickard, but you're right. Yeah. I mean, if a goalie does go down, and a goalie will probably go down at some point.
And Pickard's a veteran guy that's been around. I think he had some moonlight starter time in the NHL on some bad teams. I think of Colorado, I believe, where he was the go-to guy because of injuries and bad teams. Number 20.
Let's do it.
Number 20 is Dylan Holloway.
Dylan Holloway, number 20 on the list.
Yeah.
Can I say this?
Sure.
I like this because you're not putting too much pressure on the rook.
Right.
Like, or not the rook, but like the
Second
young guy, the second-year
Yeah.
guy on the team. You're not putting too much pressure on him. Other people might have him up in like the 13, 14 range. I like the fact that you're sort of limiting expectations on Holloway by putting him in this spot. If my computer's on right now, I'd play the Holloway goal song right now. But it's not. I think it's faded down. That's okay.
With Dylan Holloway, and that's kind of the evolution and finally the mental or understanding or shift in how you bring younger guys along. Now that you do have a deep enough roster, you don't need to rely on a guy going into his second year. And he had his struggles as a rookie last season. He got blown up in that big hit by was it Bushnape? No, it was Labushkin that got him.
Yeah.
And, that was a welcome to the NHL moment. He bounced right back up, and his game didn't change when he got back in the lineup. I like that. Like that spunky, all right, I learned my lesson. I'm going to keep attacking, and maybe I'll change a little bit how I do it. But the overall way he attacks the game hasn't changed for Dylan Holloway. And I do think there's going to be room for him to grow a little bit and have more of an impact and put together a better season offensively. He did have 3 goals and 6 assists in the 51 games he did play. Managed to stay even. There was a few bad giveaways, too, that led to goals, especially early on in his year last year. But let him just kind of grow at his own pace. And when you don't put much of an onus on him and put that much pressure on him, I think that enables a young guy to kind of figure it out as a third. I don't want to see him on a fourth-line role, but as a third-line type of guy with some moonlight time in the top 6.
Matthew Wanek was listening and has come over and made sure my computer is on. And we're not going to do this for every guy. But this is a goal song we didn't get to play much last year because of his injury. We never played a goal song on the Oil Stream before.
No, we haven't. This is new.
This is the Dylan Holloway goal song that we'll be rolling out 12 times this year? 13, 14? Maybe? Oh, no, that's the Rashog song again. Just a sec.
We'll definitely not be playing that
That
on the
won't
Oil
be
Stream.
played on the Oil Stream. Here we go. I got it now.
We found out not long ago. Whoa. This kid is ready to be in the show. Whoa. Holloway go. Holloway go. He can dangle hands so sick. Back of the net, right off his stick. Holloway go. Holloway go. Holloway go. Holloway go.
There's more to it, but that's just a tease. That's just a taste of what you're going to be getting with the Holloway goal song.
I love the original, the Lindsey Buckingham Holiday Road. And that's from Vacation. And the scenes with Christy Brinkley and all of that. I love Vegas Vacation, but that song fits so well.
Yeah.
And that version.
It worked out really well. That's a good one. That's a banger. Anyway, Dylan Holloway comes in at number 20 on Tommy Gazzola's rankings of importance, and the list continues. I wonder where you're going next. This is why I like being surprised by your rankings. Well, I have not seen this list. I don't know where Tommy's going next. So I'm very much just like all of you. All right, buddy, what do we got?
Okay, number 19 is Warren Foegele.
Oh, okay.
Warren Foegele, yeah, McLovin himself. This is an interesting one, and I'm like, where does he fit into the mix? He's a depth player. I don't think you want him even getting a lot of time in the top 6. It has happened at times. He really, I think his best hockey as an Oiler was played in the stretch drive and certainly in the playoffs where he was aggressive, tenacious, made all the simple plays, all the things you expect from a guy who's been in the league for a few years as a veteran. The reliability factor, I think, is important. So if I think he continues to do that and chip in with a little bit of offense, could he push it to 15 goals instead of, roughly 10, which he usually gets every year, and get 35 points to 40 points.
Oh, that'd be nice,
That would be a phenomenal boost and bonus to the team. I don't know if it necessarily happens, but if he's just a steady, reliable guy, especially in his own end, and then gives you something in the offensive zone, I'm tilting the ice, getting zone time, creating opportunities, being hard on defensemen, that's valuable. And I think that's a big question mark. Is Warren Foegele going to be the guy that's being healthy scratched like he was at times last year? Or is he going to be the guy that you actually looked at every playoff game and go, you know what, he's making a difference out there in a positive way? And I think Jesse Puljujärvi being moved out finally last year also opened the door to Foegele, and maybe it was a mental burden.
Fogel's like the survivor, right? Like, yes, Puljujärvi was cut because it just wasn't going to work. Yeah. Yamamoto was not cut, but moved because basically a cap casualty.
Yeah.
Foegele still lives because those two guys are gone. He won that battle, basically.
Then just bring it. And listen, there's still people that don't like the price point, 2.75 per year. I get that.
You prefer him a little bit less, for sure.
Absolutely. But if he can be reliable, steady, I think that's what people want out of him, and then chip in with some offense from time to time. And if he, moves those numbers up a little bit and can get north of 30 points, I think you're going, all right, that's good. So he's in that slot at 19 for me.
MCKK in the YouTube chat says, I'm setting my alarm for 2 a.m. to argue with Tom about this on Twitter.
That's fine. That's fine.
I like that. All right, so two forwards here at 20 and 19. There's another forward that I'm assuming is going to pop up here at some point that we could possibly end up debating. But let's get to number 18.
Yeah, this one, you're actually going to see two defensemen here.
Okay.
The next one's Vinny Desharnais.
Desharnais.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vinny Desharnais at 18. And I think he is their de facto going into day one of camp number 6.
He's their 6 on the right?
Yeah.
I would think.
I'm curious to see how he looks.
Now, you said going into camp, not starting the season.
Going into camp.
Okay.
Because I think, Philip Broberg will have a thing or two to say about how this blue line looks, who's 6 and who's 7, depending on how he performs at training camp and in the preseason. But right now, I have Desharnais at 18. I think, his ceiling at the NHL level, I don't know how much higher it gets. Again, he needs to be reliable. He needs to lessen the mistakes. And I want to know and see if he worked on his footwork and just his gap control in the defensive zone and how he thinks the game at the pace of the NHL. Now he's been through the rigors of high-intensity playoff hockey and how much that helps him out.
Yeah.
But he's not a young defenseman. He's going to be 27.
I think he's
already
going to be
27.
Yeah, he's 27-ish, yeah.
But if he can be steady and reliable and be a physical presence out there and eat pucks on the PK, then that's good. But I think just his ceiling, I think, is lesser than Philip Broberg's. I think most people would probably agree with that. But at this point, I just have him in at number 18.
Do you think, how much better can a guy that size get around the ice? Like, if he was a little more fleet of foot, I think it would do wonders for him.
Fleet of foot and also just how well he anticipates, too.
Yeah.
Like, controlling the play in front of him. You don't necessarily have to be able to do quick steps and your inside and outside edge work has to be peak and top level in the National Hockey League. How you control the ice and how you control the space in front of you is important. And part of that's how you skate, but your anticipation as well, how you're seeing the play. And maybe
help you get by at the speed you move right now, right?
Exactly. Using whatever ability you have with your feet to your advantage or as best as possible. I think that's part of it as well.
All right, if you are listening right now, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, as clear as it comes on your dial in the car, just connect your phone to the car and click Listen Live at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and hopefully some other options for you coming up here in the near future as well. Tommy's rankings of importance continuing here today. Dylan Holloway at number 20, Foegele at 19, Vincent Desharnais at 18, number 17 on the list.
These guys are going to be lumped together because they're going to be battling one another. Right. It is Philip Broberg. And I think, again, I just said his ceiling is much higher. I think with his skill set, he's a little bit younger than Desharnais. So his ceiling is higher. But my other question is he an Oiler at the end of the season or after the trade deadline?
Yeah.
Because what if, as a first-round pick, being in this organization for so long, what if that opportunity isn't there for him, or he feels he's not getting the ice time he deserves and has worked hard for? What if, his side pushes for a move elsewhere and you could get another chip for a Philip Broberg? I think that's a possibility. I don't know if it's going to happen, but or he can knock it out of the park and take the spot away from Vinny Desharnais.
And then Desharnais is just a number 7.
And that's okay too.
Which is okay.
And if Broberg's playing the right side, or he does end up playing with Ekholm, and that looks like a great pairing for the team, and that takes off, and you can rely on Bouchard to be off on his own with someone else. Maybe it's with Darnell Nurse. That could happen. And so, Philip Broberg, kind of like Raphael Lavoie, but Broberg with a much better inside track to a job with this team, kind of is in control of his future. I think obviously he'll be on the opening day roster. I don't know so much so about Lavoie, but if he goes out and kills it in camp, I think he realistically takes the spot away from Vinny Desharnais. If he has a so-so camp like he did last year, then I think Vinny Desharnais is on your opening night roster as your 6th defenseman on the right side on the third pair with Brett Kulak.
Let's get to a few of your comments on the YouTube chat and the inbox as well. Farm Team Mike says, hey, I'm just here from pick up that Mr. Mike's GC. Oh. Hey, Matty! Farm Team Mike's here.
I love how you
listen, we can
right
do that.
Down there.
Somebody's here to pick up Mr. Mike's GC.
Come on in.
All right, D. White says, before Edmonton trades Broberg, he better get some serious ice time on the 3LD because I think his ceiling is higher than Kulak's. Well, you know what? His ceiling better be higher than Kulak. Nothing against Kulak. We love Kulak. I thought Kulak last year was the perfect sort of fly under the radar, really nice season guy. But that's not the type of defenseman you draft with a top 10 pick. So Broberg's ceiling better be higher than Kulak's.
And I don't know. I mean, Kulak, it took years and years and years for him to become how reliable he now is. Could Broberg eventually be that or surpass Kulak? Yes. Is it this year? I don't think so.
Broberg's not taking Kulak's job this year.
No.
Right? That's not what we're thinking.
No.
We have to. Kulak's steady, man.
If Broberg has a good season this year and takes the 6th slot from Desharnais and builds, then next year at this time in the rankings of importance, we're talking about could Broberg push Kulak out. If that doesn't happen, I don't think it's even a discussion.
Very curious to see if Vinny truly learned those lessons from the playoffs. And Travis Jack on the YouTube chat says, no Vinny, no Winnie. Is what I say.
I like that.
Which I really like that. We might use that around here. No Vinny, no Winnie. Which is it's just what are you supposed to come up with, Broberg? Right?
That's a tough one.
That's a really tough one for sure. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I feel like I might know who number 16 is, but number 20 was Dylan Holloway. Number 19 was Foegele. Number 18 was Vincent. Number 17 was Broberg. Number 16, the final one today on the rankings of importance is
it's going to be Derek Ryan.
Okay.
And I'm looking at this, I'm like, maybe I should have slotted him in a little bit higher, but I'm going with Derek Ryan. Good on him getting that 2-year deal. They love him in the room. He is valuable. He is a competitor. He gets pissed off almost more than everyone else in that room when the team loses. Like, he takes it really hard. He's there to win. And I just, where are his legs? How much does he actually play this year? Does he stay healthy? I think he probably will, but he is versatile. He does whatever he's asked. No, he's not the biggest, but he gets in there, he mucks it up. And he's an important piece, but there's other guys here that I think will get more opportunity than Derek Ryan ahead of him on this list. And just due to age and size, I think they slot in higher than Derek Ryan. But Derek Ryan's kind of a good jack of all trades, if you will.
How much higher on this list, and we'll find out on Wednesday, but how much higher on this list is Matthias Janmark? He's got to be coming up. He's got to be coming up. We got to have this Matthias Janmark discussion because that's got to be happening at some point.
Well, I kind of teased it by with what I said about Ryan there.
Okay, I figured
good instincts,
it's just
Dustin.
look, man. This is not the first time I've sat next to you while you've done the ratings. Actually, it's the first time I've sat right next to you.
Yeah, physically.
Before we used to be in our different houses and things like that. So anyway, that's where we're at. So Dylan Holloway, Foegele, Desharnais, Broberg, and Derek Ryan. Rankings of importance: 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. That'll be a good one.
Now it gets juicy. I think this is where the conversation really starts to kick up. And I think we'll get to that on Wednesday. I think, top 5, we have a pretty good understanding, but this is the heart and meat of the order where we start the debate.
That's good. Yeah. If you are listening to the podcast version of this, as we mentioned a little bit earlier on, we would love if you gave us a 5-star rating and then subscribe to the Nielsen Show podcast and the Hangout podcast and basically everything we got going on at Edmonton Sports Talk, including the YouTube channel, which we did hit 3,600 subscribers today.
Excellent.
So we're just kind of getting going. We're not even a week in yet here, so that's a positive. So just grab your phone and text or DM your buddies the YouTube link and tell them to subscribe, and then they too can enjoy clear sports talk here in Edmonton. So that's exciting.
It's nice.
By the way, media golf tournament next Tuesday. And it's an afternoon start.
Oh,
usually this Oilers media golf tournament is a morning start, and I have to roll in like 4 holes late.
Yep.
And then I don't even contribute anyway, because last year I played with Schwartz, who drives the ball like 350 yards.
Beast.
And is just a great golfer as well. We were with their media guy, or their video guy, who just got elevated last year. Noah Segal and Rob Brown.
Good group.
But this year, it's a 2:00 start, so I'll actually be able to make it on time.
I had Glenn Gulletson and Tim Shipton, and I rode with Stoff. It was a really fun group.
Wow.
Gully's great. He's a lot of fun to talk to, and Tim and I go way back, and we worked together. He was my boss for a while, and ultimately he continued to climb the ladder there. And we had some battles, some good ones.
Some good ones along the way.
But it was a very, very nice
That's a nice little group there.
Yeah.
Our group ended up winning it. And I got like a golf watch.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
You did get a golf watch. Those are great.
I got a watch. I already had the exact same one, so I have 2 of them, actually.
I wear
one
Jeff
on each
Jackson.
hand, just in case.
Oh, you do? You've got 2 now.
Who do you want?
Jeff Jackson. Put him with me.
Oh, the new man on campus.
Yeah. Be good to catch up with him. But you know who's probably going to be with him? Stoff.
Yeah, probably be Stoff.
At his request.
Stoff called me again yesterday.
How'd it go?
Maybe Stoff requests to golf with me this year. I
thought he
said the same stuff he said a couple days ago.
Really, I know we're running out of time, but it was in the middle of that Patrick Kane stuff where Bob was talking about Kane coming to Edmonton. And that really was kind of that was a summer, let's get people talking type of thing. And I thought Bob was gonna just be all over me for being like, why do you keep smacking down my ideas? And people were saying it's Bob versus Tom. It's never Bob versus Tom.
No,
we're good friends.
It's not Bob versus us at all. In fact, I'd proudly say tune into Bob Stauffer's show later on today.
Yes.
Oilers Now over on Ched at 5:00.
Yeah, great programming, and then keep it tuned in to listen to our good friend Reed Wilkins as well. But
shout out to Reed.
Shout out to Reed. He's our boy. But Bob and I had a great day, and we talked about all kinds of other stuff, and we caught up and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that media golf tournament.
All right, another episode of the Oil Stream on Wednesday. The rankings of importance will continue 15, 14, 13, 12, and 11, and more of your questions, obviously, as well. That's going to do it for day 4 with Edmonton Sports Talk. Big shout out to Lieutenant Eric, Matt Iwanek, Tommy Gazzola, and I think things will only continue to get better. So make sure you tell your friends. They can listen live or watch live at edmontonsportstalk.com. Tommy, get us out of here, bud.
All right, like, share, subscribe like you've been doing. This YouTube thing has been a lot of fun, and it's continuing to grow and take off. So smash that thumbs up button, please, and thank you. Look forward to getting into the meat of the order when it comes to the ranking of importance on Wednesday. Ciao for now.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Elks Call is the newest Edmonton Elks podcast located in Edmonton, discussing everything Elks. Join friends of EST, Scout and Catherine, Friday nights at 8 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.